working. Hey guys, can you hear me? We made it to Florida tonight. We're in Tampa. I'll show you guys in a second. I looked at the weather SDRS right now. This is why I told you this thing. I showed my technique. You guys can see it. I'm gonna shout out in a second, guys. We made it to Florida tonight in bad conditions. You're gonna hear what I sound like. We're on the Tampa Bay route right now, down toward Tampa Bay near Clearwater. So I shouted out just a second ago. I'll show you our DX maps right here. You guys can hit these little areas. Get your beams to Florida, have some fun tonight. This is going to be cool, man. I made it to the Sunshine State this evening. I'm going to go do this right now, guys. We're going to talk about it. Let me shut off this mic in a second. You guys get to hear it.
Stay
So you guys saw that, guys. I made it through Tampa Bay at least 4 times, but that was way into this shout at the mic. Yeah, but conditions were changing. I knew it was open when I went to check it a few minutes ago. I went to do it. I got up before I got on the live shot. I heard myself talking to Tampa Bay, Florida at 150 degrees. I went over to 180 toward Tallahassee, toward St. George Island. Couldn't get in those. I think the conditions shut off Florida just now. So we made it through Florida tonight in bad conditions. That's what I did a couple of days ago when I did Costa Rica. You guys remember the check-in. So who's in the chat room tonight, guys? Who came out here tonight? Hey, what's up, John SWL 102? Man, I got 0 conditions. But you saw what I did on that? That beam does some things like that. Even if it's not on the charts, you can try to get those SSBs that shows on the chart. It might actually give you an idea where you want to hit it, but I made it into Florida tonight in bad conditions with no one around. I don't even hear about nobody on the radio, but probably someone on Skip would have actually heard me down in Tampa tonight. So I made it to the Gulf America coast, out to the Gulf Coast of Tampa, Florida. You guys saw it on the live stream a while ago. So the DX must have closed out tonight. That's what happened. But you know what it is, but come on, this thing is amazing. A President imagine with the 2-field with the Catalyst 150, the D105. D104 Hi-Fi kit to do that at 22 feet off the ground and point at 150. I just went and got on there and checked the SDR on the internet. I want to see if I get into Tampa and I see if it happens. Sometimes you use these things, they give you an idea where you can point the beam at. Sometimes you don't, but they're not always accurate. But I'm telling you, SSB shows the update of, I don't know how the site runs, but yeah, look at that. We made it to Florida tonight at least 800 miles away to Tampa. How far it is? About 700 to 800 miles. I know North Florida is about 700 miles away. About 500 miles away. I think almost 700. Yeah. I think we made almost these 800 miles tonight in bad conditions. And you can tell where the skip's moving around there. And it's flowing on that side of the sun where it's at. This must have been updated hours ago, but it must have faded out when I got on there. When I shot out it, and it must have faded out. That's probably what happened. So yeah, I got lucky and probably had a few minutes till it shut out. Especially it probably was gray line conditions I made through tonight. So you guys gotta try this on this SDR site I'll call HF Viewer. That's what it's called. Not DX Max. This is the one Dennis uses. And you can look at 24 megahertz and 28 megahertz. Those are the things that are close to 11 meters. 28 is right next door to 11 meters. It's pretty right on it. So you guys can get an idea. That's how you guys can use your beam antenna to point those areas where SSB's at, and sometimes AM will hit there too. But that single sideband, you can look there, and if you're on CB radio on single sideband, this is where you guys want to learn your beam antennas. You never know, it might work. You got to try on one of these SDRs on the internet. The Kiwi, I know these are major cities, but yeah, you'll be able to get it. Some of these Kiwis close down during that night, and sometimes they open during the day. The one in Valdosta closed tonight. That's what happens. They usually open up during the day. So yeah, go check this out when you get some time. Maybe we'll do some more of this again, but I was checking to see the traditions out. There was nobody on traditions tonight on the radio except some guys on 26 talking a while ago. Two guys out there. That's it. But nothing on the band tonight. And Buzz, I went on here and checked the conditions here, and I wanted to see if my B made it to Florida tonight. So we did make it to Florida twice. We made it to Melbourne, Florida, to the east coast of Florida tonight. I think that's near the Treasure Coast or the Space Coast. Then we made it over to the Gulf Coast of Tampa. So we made it on the Gulf of America and shot across over there. I actually been to Tampa before, Florida, Florida, but we hit right in the city, guys. We actually hit it right in those resident neighborhoods or city. I don't know where this SDR is at. Go check out what that antenna where it's at. You guys get an idea of what I was hitting on. But I have talked to Florida back in June or July, May. But I made it to Miramar, Florida, near my old place in Hollywood, and plus Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Yes, I made it on the SDR on the internet with the same radio I'm talking on. Then I went up to Citrus County, Florida, up to the north near outside of Gainesville, almost near the Big Bend area, but usually halfway to Cedar Key, almost near that area. So I made it to almost in parts in north central Florida, but Citrus County made it before. I've done that. I haven't done the other ones with the Panhandle yet. I haven't made it into the Panhandle, but I made it into three SWRs on the internet. So I made it to South Florida, Central Florida, Central Tampa, and probably up in parts of North Central Florida, almost near North Florida, Citrus County. Those are the ones I hit the most in those areas with the beam until I did it last time. So at least we got some video recording tonight, guys. So that was pretty cool. You guys have a good night. I'll catch you later. But man, we had a great live stream the other day. The check-in got checked in at number 10. Yeah. Sometimes lower height makes yeah. I'm at 22 feet off the ground. I live about 800 feet on the valleys, and we got plateaus out here. You guys know that. And they're mostly to the west of me, and then they're some to the south. But I'm aiming right directing toward Chattanooga and Atlanta, where 150 goes on that mark. You just have to look at my area in where I'm at in the Knoxville, Tennessee, or you know where exactly I'm at. And you go on the estimate map, you'll actually see where I'm pointing the beam. But I had to fall back looking at it. So man, I was amazed we made it that far away, almost 800 miles. So let's give us a distance. What's Tampa, Florida distance? We'll put that calculation there. Maybe we'll change the title. Made it to Tampa, Florida, and Melbourne. That's what we will put it out there. So you guys have a good night. We got to play around with this, but you guys got to give it a try it out, guys. Yeah. At least I got the word out about overhead night tonight over in Tampa. We made it across the iosphere, so that was pretty cool. And I got those channels that sometimes when I use it, I have to shout out quick, and who knows? Somebody could actually hear me down in the mobile. I don't know they're out there this late. So it's been kind of hot out here for the last few days, but we had some rain when I got out there in the thunderstorms. I'll tell you guys what happened the other day when we were doing the check-in. It was when I got off the second live stream, when we had that lightning off the mountain of Mount Roosevelt. That's what you were hearing out there, about a couple miles away. That's what you heard out there on the microphone, the one I came with my Temu mic. So that's how you guys heard it on the live stream. I was taking a risk to the storms when I hear lightning flashes. I will not do that again to be on the radio during storms. Lucky my radio didn't got strike or nothing. I got off pretty quite early when I heard the lightning flashes. I did not have the antennas hooked up when I jumped off pretty fast because you guys saw in the live stream when I did. I got off about 20, 30 minutes early before the storms came. So I went on the microphone and talked to you guys, the radars and stuff like that. That's why I shut off about 20, 30 minutes early before the storms came. That's why I did a good thing, because when I hear lightning flashes on the radio, I need to check where it's at on the radar. If it's near my area, I need to shut off. Yeah, and it was like maybe 10 miles away, maybe 6 miles out. But I had to get off very quick because I was trying to get in that check-in. But I did get into the first check-in of UDX 66 up in New York. I did get in before the storms came. We're probably gonna get some more tomorrow or the next day because they're showing the radar or something. So tonight's really kind of quiet. You guys have a good night. Thanks for joining this live stream. But at least we made it to Tampa Bay, Florida tonight, and Melbourne, over near the Space Coast of Florida, and we were trying. But I think we got in before the gray line conditions. If Florida would stayed open for a couple hours, I probably would have made it all over the whole state with this beam. So we'll try and get into some more things like that. You guys have a good night. UDX 362, Knoxville, Tennessee, from the Foxman. We'll catch you guys later. And I'm glad we made it to Florida tonight, so we wanted to see what we did. And it switched over to CW. That's what happened, guys. You saw that. And it went over to that. See, when it says SSB, that's Simon, so it went to that mode. And it doesn't even show it anymore. See, guys, it changed. So it actually did change again. It was SSB for 20 minutes ago. It just switched over to CW. That's probably why it shut out. So this thing is pretty accurate, guys. You want to make sure you look at this map. This is a fantastic map that Dennis showed a while back. When he used to do DX map, he went to this one. And yeah, it looks like it's over there, that area. Maybe we could maybe we could talk this in a second before we go. I don't know. Maybe I could try to talk on it. Maybe we'll try Tampa in a minute before we leave. So let's turn this back on again. Hey, Tim Weber. Hey, what's up, man? Let's see. We'll try Tampa Bay again before we start on it. Let me see if I make it through tonight. But we did it about a minute ago, so you guys know that. I'm right back in a second. We'll see what happens. If we don't get into it, we'll have to shut off the screen.
Okay, we're rocking on the Madison tonight. They got some crocodiles down there here in the state of Florida. Let's see, wave it on back. It's on the Fox band. Fox band 362, get it all down into 2-4. We're dancing on the airwaves. Mother Nature. 262, Knoxville, Tennessee, go all down, everybody.
Hey guys, I'm gonna let you guys go, but you have a good night. Thanks for coming out. 26 views. We made it to Florida at least 3 times tonight, 5 to 6 times. You see on the map here, guys. Hope you guys hear me on the microphone. So I'm gonna let you guys know. See if this pull this out. Audio. So yeah. So we made it to Florida tonight twice. You guys seen it. You can hear me on the Mother Nature's plane. It's 1:37 in the morning. We almost made about an hour and a half in Florida, but see all that area where that area is, where it shows SSB means that's the order it's at. And it shipped down south of Gainesville, then it went back up. It's still playing again. It might come back later, guys. You guys should try it out and get some fun. Go to Tampa, Florida. If you guys are up in Tennessee, you might be able to get a really easy shot on this. Even if you're outside a DX zone, you can still do it on a beam. That's why beam's amazing, and the other radios can do it, but a beam can actually punch it across without even these are out there. You guys saw it tonight. It's bad conditions, but I made almost 800, 900 miles tonight. I did about 800 miles to Florida. We'll have to look at the calculations. Tampa and Citrus County, then we can look at what we're hitting at, and then we're heading down to Melbourne, Florida, over near this area, east of or north of between Palm Bay. There was India River. India River is usually in Jupiter County, Martin County. That's what it is. Not Jupiter, Florida. It's Martin County. Yes, because that's over near Melbourne. Is between Palm Bay, but it's over near Martin County, in almost near the Palm Beaches, about an hour away from it. So it's usually a lot of orange, Indian oranges live in that area. But yeah, I made it over that in Central Florida. So we were here in Central Florida, over from the Gulf of America coast, and all the way up to Citrus County, south of Gainesville, almost right on the Nature Coast. And we made it over to the Space Coast and the Treasure Coast almost. So we're actually hitting the Nature Coast. It was like an hour south of Gainesville when I was sitting there. Orlando's usually 2 hours away to Ocala or Gainesville, yeah. So that was pretty cool, guys. We made it tonight, man. So we're having a little fun tonight, guys. That Madison's doing this in bad conditions, but you guys gotta try it out someday. I did this to Costa Rica the other day. You guys saw on the live stream I was there, and I was making it through Costa Rica, just the same thing. When that little spot shows that little DX spot, that's where you guys got to use like a pipeline to go through, and anybody can hear you on there. It doesn't matter if it's an SDR or not. If you're hitting their SDRs, they should hear you a lot louder on C radio down in Tampa Bay tonight. If there were people out there in Tampa hearing me on the radio, they will actually hear me for sure on their CBs. If they have single sideband built into it, yeah, they probably would have heard me a lot louder than the SDR. It depends on it is. But you guys would have made it to Tampa Bay tonight on the beam in Tennessee, and you guys could still punch in that area where this little shade of red is. That's how it works. You guys have a good night. 362 Knoxville, Tennessee, UDX 362. Thanks for coming out here for about an hour, 7 minutes. I want to see what we got into Tampa Bay, Florida tonight. We did. It counts. We did pretty good tonight. So you guys have a good one. John SWL 102 and Tim Weber 648. I hope you guys didn't miss the whole show. You guys jumped out, but when I had to try it out for a few minutes. So you guys have a good one. 362 Knoxville, Tennessee. We're out of here. We'll catch you later. Have a good night. From UDX 362, we're going to wave it on back from the Fox here in Tennessee tonight.